Hi, today we'll go through 10 inspiring quotes by Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela that could change the way you see life. 1. The quote, "It always seems impossible until it's done," emphasizes the power of perseverance and belief in achieving difficult goals. Nelson Mandela suggests that many great achievements initially appear unrealistic or unattainable because people often focus on the obstacles, risks, and limitations surrounding a challenge. When something has never been accomplished before or seems extremely difficult, it is easy to believe that success is impossible. However, history repeatedly shows that determination, effort, and persistence can turn what once seemed impossible into reality. Once the goal is finally achieved, people often realize that the barriers were not as absolute as they first appeared. The quote encourages individuals and societies to continue working toward meaningful goals even when progress seems slow or uncertain. In essence, Mandela's message is that perceived impossibility is often just a temporary perspective, and with courage, dedication, and consistent effort, extraordinary achievements can become possible and even ordinary once they are finally accomplished. 2. The quote, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world," emphasizes the transformative power of knowledge and learning. Nelson Mandela suggests that education gives individuals the ability to understand the world, think critically, and challenge injustice or inequality. Through education, people gain skills, awareness, and confidence that allow them to improve their own lives and contribute positively to society. Unlike physical power or force, education creates long-lasting change by shaping minds and inspiring new ideas. Educated individuals can develop solutions to social, economic, and political problems, helping communities progress and grow. Education also empowers people to defend their rights, participate in democratic processes, and promote fairness and opportunity for others. The quote highlights that real progress begins with informed and thoughtful citizens. 3. The quote, "I never lose, I either win or learn," expresses a powerful mindset about failure and personal growth. Nelson Mandela suggests that setbacks should not be seen as true losses, but as valuable opportunities to gain knowledge and improve. When people try something and succeed, they achieve their goal and experience the satisfaction of victory. However, when they fail, they still gain something important: lessons about what did not work, how to adapt, and how to approach the challenge differently next time. This perspective transforms failure from a negative outcome into a step toward progress. It encourages resilience, persistence, and a willingness to take risks without fear of mistakes. People who adopt this mindset are more likely to continue trying, improving, and eventually succeeding because they view every experience as a chance to grow. In essence, Mandela's message is that true failure only occurs when we stop learning or give up, while every effort, successful or not, contributes to personal development and future success. 4. The quote, "I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it," explains the true meaning of bravery. Nelson Mandela suggests that courage does not mean being completely fearless or never feeling anxiety in difficult situations. Fear is a natural human emotion that everyone experiences when facing danger, uncertainty, or important challenges. True courage appears when a person chooses to act despite that fear, rather than allowing it to control their decisions. By confronting fear and moving forward, individuals demonstrate strength, determination, and resilience. Overcoming fear often leads to personal growth, greater confidence, and the ability to achieve meaningful goals. Mandela's insight also shows that even strong leaders and courageous individuals feel fear, but they refuse to let it stop them from doing what is right. In essence, his message is that bravery is not about eliminating fear, but about rising above it and choosing action, integrity, and purpose, even in the face of uncertainty. 5. The quote, "For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others," explains a deeper understanding of freedom and responsibility. Nelson Mandela suggests that true freedom is not only about escaping oppression, restrictions, or personal limitations. While gaining personal liberty is important, genuine freedom also requires respecting the rights, dignity, and independence of other people. A society cannot be truly free if individuals pursue their own freedom while ignoring or harming the freedom of others. Instead, freedom should encourage cooperation, fairness, and mutual respect among people. When individuals support and protect the rights of others, they strengthen the foundation of a just and peaceful community. Mandela's message highlights that freedom carries responsibility and it requires empathy, moral awareness, and commitment to equality. In essence, the quote teaches that real freedom is not selfish or isolated, but shared and strengthened when people work together to protect the liberty and dignity of everyone. 6. The quote, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall," emphasizes the importance of resilience, perseverance, and courage in life. Nelson Mandela suggests that making mistakes, facing failures, or experiencing setbacks is a natural part of the human journey. True strength and achievement are not measured by avoiding difficulties, but by how we respond to them. Rising after a fall demonstrates determination, learning, and the ability to grow from experience. Each recovery builds character, confidence, and wisdom, enabling individuals to face future challenges with greater skill and resilience. This perspective transforms failure from a negative event into an opportunity for personal development and self-improvement. Mandela's message also inspires hope, reminding people that setbacks do not define them. It is the effort to keep moving forward that creates lasting success and fulfillment. In essence, the quote teaches that the most meaningful achievements come from the courage to stand up repeatedly, turning struggles into triumphs and building a life of purpose and strength. 7. The quote, "It always seems impossible until it's done," emphasizes the importance of persistence and belief in overcoming challenges. Nelson Mandela suggests that many goals, whether personal, social, or political, initially appear unattainable because of their scale, complexity, or the obstacles in the way. People often focus on difficulties rather than possibilities, making the task seem impossible. However, history shows that with determination, consistent effort, and courage, challenges that once appear insurmountable can be accomplished. Mandela's own life illustrates this principle, as he overcame immense struggles to lead South Africa through monumental change. The quote encourages individuals not to be discouraged by how impossible a goal seems, but to take action, plan strategically, and persevere despite setbacks. In essence, Mandela's message is that perceived impossibility is often a matter of perspective, and success comes to those who persist, act courageously, and refuse to give up until the goal is achieved. 8. The quote, "No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin," emphasizes that prejudice, racism, and discrimination are learned behaviors, not innate human instincts. Nelson Mandela suggests that all individuals enter the world without bias or hatred. These negative attitudes are acquired through socialization, cultural influences, and exposure to unjust beliefs or stereotypes. This perspective underscores the importance of education, awareness, and positive role models in shaping attitudes toward others. By teaching empathy, understanding, and respect for diversity from an early age, societies can prevent the spread of hatred and create a more inclusive and just environment. Mandela's message also conveys hope, highlighting that if hatred is learned, it can also be unlearned, and people can choose tolerance and acceptance instead. In essence, the quote teaches that humans are naturally capable of compassion and connection, and that building a fair, equitable world depends on actively promoting understanding, challenging prejudice, and nurturing kindness across generations. 9. The quote, "A good leader can engage in a debate frankly and thoroughly," emphasizes that effective leadership requires honesty, openness, and the ability to handle differing opinions. Nelson Mandela suggests that strong leaders do not avoid difficult conversations or shy away from disagreement. Instead, they confront issues directly, listen carefully, and discuss matters in a transparent and comprehensive way. Engaging frankly in debate allows leaders to consider multiple perspectives, uncover the best solutions, and build trust among those they lead. Thorough discussion also ensures that decisions are well-informed and balanced, rather than impulsive or one-sided. Mandela's experience demonstrates that true leadership combines confidence with humility, the courage to speak truthfully, and the willingness to hear and integrate others' viewpoints. In essence, the quote teaches that the strength of a leader lies not in avoiding conflict, but in navigating it thoughtfully, promoting dialogue, and using discussion as a tool to achieve fairness, progress, and unity. 10. The quote, "What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others," emphasizes the idea that true meaning and purpose come from impact, service, and contribution. Nelson Mandela suggests that simply existing or going through life without positively affecting others does not define a meaningful life. Real fulfillment arises when individuals use their talents, resources, and time to help, inspire, or improve the well-being of those around them. Acts of kindness, leadership, mentorship, advocacy, and community service create ripples that extend beyond personal gain and leave lasting value. Mandela's life exemplifies this principle, as he devoted himself to justice, equality, and the empowerment of others, ensuring that his actions transformed society. The quote encourages reflection on how one's choices and efforts affect others and reminds people that legacy is built through contribution rather than mere survival. In essence, Mandela teaches that life's significance is measured by the positive difference we make, emphasizing compassion, responsibility, and purposeful action. If you enjoyed these quotes by Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new videos.